Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Have you ever felt like your prayers are taking too long to be answered? You cry out to Allah, hoping for a breakthrough, yet days turn into months, and months into years. The waiting feels endless, and doubt starts creeping in. But what if your waiting period is almost over? What if Allah is already sending you signs that relief is near? Many believers endure long seasons of patience, unaware that their test is about to end. In Islam, waiting is not a sign of neglect. It is a sign of preparation. Allah's timing is perfect, and His plan unfolds in ways beyond our understanding. The Quran reminds us, "Indeed, with hardship, there is ease." Quran 94:6. Stay with me as we uncover 10 powerful signs that Allah is telling you your waiting period is almost over. Before we begin this video, don't forget to like it, as it gives us great motivation to continue sharing beneficial content. I also invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay updated on our upcoming posts about Islamic faith. Thank you, and enjoy the video. The concept of divine timing. Nothing in this world happens by chance. Every event, every moment of joy or hardship has been written by Allah in Law al-Mahfuz, the preserved tablet, long before we were even born. The delays we experience are not signs of rejection, but part of a divine plan unfolding at the perfect time. Allah does not always grant immediate relief, because waiting is a test of both patience and faith. He observes how we respond. Do we remain steadfast, or do we lose hope? The waiting period is not a punishment. It is a purification process. It strengthens the soul, removes arrogance, and deepens our connection with our Creator. One of the greatest examples of patience in the face of extreme hardship is Prophet Ayub. He was a man of immense faith, yet Allah tested him with the loss of his wealth, health, and family. For years he endured suffering, never questioning Allah's decree. Instead of falling into despair, he remained in constant remembrance of his Lord. And when the time was right, Allah restored everything he had lost, granting him even more than before. This story teaches us a profound lesson. Relief always follows hardship. But the key is Tawakkul, trusting Allah's wisdom even when we do not understand His timing. The Quran reassures us, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. Indeed, Allah will accomplish His purpose." Quran 65:3. So if you are in a waiting season, do not despair. Your patience is not wasted. Allah is preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. Keep trusting, keep believing, because His timing is never wrong. Sign number 1. You feel a deep sense of inner peace. After a long period of struggle, something strange begins to happen. The worry, the frustration, and the constant questioning start to fade away. Instead of feeling restless, your heart becomes calm, even if your situation hasn't changed yet. This is not a coincidence. It is a divine sign. This feeling is known as sakina, a deep, unshakable tranquility that Allah places in the hearts of His servants when they are nearing their relief. It is not the kind of peace that comes from external circumstances. It is a peace that comes from within, a peace that only Allah can give. The Quran reminds us, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find rest." Quran 13:28. When your waiting period is about to end, you will notice that your heart no longer feels heavy. The same burdens that once overwhelmed you now feel lighter. Why? Because Allah has been preparing you. He has been shaping your soul, increasing your reliance on Him, and now He is giving you a sense of peace before He delivers what you have been waiting for. This is a powerful sign. It means your heart has reached a level of trust where you no longer need external proof that things will work out. You simply know that they will. And this certainty, this quiet confidence, is often the last stage before Allah's blessing appears in your life. So if you feel this sudden peace washing over you, even while you are still waiting, Take it as a sign. Your test is almost over. Your heart has aligned with divine timing. And soon, what was once a distant hope will become a reality. Sign number 2. Doors that were closed start opening unexpectedly. For months, maybe even years, you have knocked on doors that refused to open. No matter how hard you tried, opportunities slipped away, people turned their backs, and nothing seemed to move forward. But suddenly, without warning, things begin to change. Situations that once felt impossible start shifting. Paths you never considered begin to emerge. This is a clear sign that Allah's divine decree is unfolding. When He decides that your waiting period is over, nothing can stand in the way of His plan. The Quran reminds us, His command is only when He intends a thing that He says to it, be, and it is. Quran 36:82. A powerful example of this is found in the life of Prophet Yusuf, Bas. For years he endured hardship, betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a well, sold as a slave, and wrongfully imprisoned. It seemed like his life would be nothing but suffering. But in a single night, everything changed. Allah's command reached him, and he was taken from a prison cell to the position of a ruler. The doors that had been closed for years opened effortlessly. This story teaches us that when Allah wills something for you, no force in this world can stop it. No amount of opposition, no barrier, no human intervention can delay what He has written for you. So if you begin to see opportunities appearing out of nowhere, if things that were once impossible start becoming possible, know that this is not random. Allah is shifting things in your favor. Your waiting period is almost over. And when He decides to open a door for you, no one can close it. Sign number 3. Your supplications feel more intense and sincere. As your waiting period nears its end, you may notice something changing in your heart. Your du'as become deeper, more emotional, and filled with a level of sincerity you've never experienced before. It is as if your soul knows that relief is close, and you begin calling upon Allah with an urgency and devotion unlike ever before. This is no coincidence. It is a divine sign. When Allah is about to bless you, He places in your heart the desire to turn to Him with complete humility. Your du'as are no longer routine. They come from the depths of your soul, sometimes bringing tears to your eyes. This sincerity is exactly what brings divine acceptance. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, Our Lord descends to the lowest heaven in the last third of the night and says, Who is calling upon me so that I may answer him? Who is asking of me so that I may give him? Who is seeking my forgiveness so that I may forgive him? Bukhari and Muslim. The last third of the night is one of the most powerful moments for supplication. Many believers who are on the verge of a breakthrough suddenly find themselves waking up at this time, pouring their hearts out to Allah without even realizing that He is preparing to answer them. A beautiful example is found in the life of Abu Huraira, R.A., one of the greatest companions of the Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He longed for his mother to accept Islam, but she was resistant. He made an intense, sincere dua for her guidance, and soon after, she embraced Islam with an open heart. His dua, filled with pain and sincerity, was answered in the most beautiful way. If you find yourself making dua with a level of devotion and sincerity you've never felt before, take it as a sign. Your heart is being aligned with divine acceptance. The doors of mercy are opening. Your waiting period is almost over. Keep calling upon Him, because He is listening. Sign number 4. You encounter more tests just before relief. Just when you think you have endured enough, life suddenly becomes even harder. Unexpected difficulties arise, challenges seem to intensify, and you feel like you're being pushed to your limit. But what if this is not a setback, but rather a sign that your breakthrough is near? This is the Sunnah of Allah. Many believers experience their toughest moments right before relief comes. Why? Because Allah is completing your purification process. He is making sure your heart is ready for the blessings He is about to give you. If patience is truly in your soul, if your faith remains unshaken despite the pressure, then you are prepared to receive His reward. The Quran gives us a powerful promise. For indeed, with hardship, there is ease. Quran 94:6. This verse reminds us that ease is not separate from hardship. It is always attached to it. The more intense the trial, the closer you are to relief. Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear, and He never tests without a purpose. A clear example of this can be seen in the story of Prophet Musa, when he and his people were fleeing from Pharaoh. Just as they thought they had escaped, they found themselves trapped by the Red Sea, with the enemy closing in behind them. It seemed like the worst possible moment. But in that moment of greatest difficulty, Allah's help arrived in the most miraculous way. The sea split, and they were saved. So if you find yourself facing unexpected struggles right before something you have been praying for, do not see it as a sign of rejection. See it as a sign of acceptance. Allah is bringing you to the very edge of your trial, so that when He delivers your victory, you will know without a doubt that it came from Him alone. Stay firm. Your waiting period is almost over. Sign number 5. You start noticing more gratitude in your heart. One of the clearest signs that your waiting period is almost over is when your heart starts overflowing with gratitude, even before the blessing arrives. You begin to appreciate things you once overlooked: the air you breathe, the food you eat, the simple moments of peace in your day. Your focus shifts from what you lack to what you already have. This is not random. It is a spiritual transformation. Allah is preparing your heart to receive His favors by increasing your awareness of His blessings. The more grateful you become, the more He gives. The Quran confirms this. If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor. Quran 14:7. This means that gratitude itself is a key that unlocks more of Allah's mercy. Sometimes, before granting your biggest dua, Allah wants to see if you are thankful for what you already have. When your heart reaches that level of appreciation, He knows you are ready for greater blessings. A powerful example of this is found in the life of Salama, R.A., the wife of the Prophet Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When her husband passed away, she was devastated. But instead of falling into despair, she chose gratitude. She constantly thanked Allah for the years she had with her husband and made dua for something even better. Allah responded by blessing her with an unimaginable honor. She later married the Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, himself. If you find yourself noticing the small blessings in your life, feeling content despite waiting, and thanking Allah more than ever before, take it as a sign. He is preparing you. Your gratitude is drawing your breakthrough closer. Your waiting period is almost over. Sign number 6. You keep seeing repeated affirmations in your life. Have you ever experienced moments where the same message keeps appearing in different ways? You hear a Quranic verse that speaks directly to your heart. Then, a scholar mentions the exact same lesson in a lecture. Later, you come across a reminder on social media that confirms the same idea. It feels as if Allah is trying to tell you something, because He is. When Allah is preparing you for a breakthrough, He sends repeated affirmations to strengthen your faith. These signs may come in the form of a Quranic verse, an inspiring hadith, a dream, or even a casual conversation with someone. They are not coincidences. They are divine signals. Allah knows your heart is seeking answers, so He places guidance in your path to assure you that relief is near. A clear example of this is found in the story of Prophet Musa, Before he was commanded to lead his people out of oppression, Allah sent him multiple signs to reassure him. From the miracles he witnessed, the staff turning into a serpent, his hand glowing with light, to the divine words spoken to him directly, Musa, received repeated affirmations that Allah was with him. Even though he feared the mission ahead, these confirmations gave him the strength to move forward. The Quran reminds us, and we will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves, until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. Quran 41:53. If you find yourself encountering the same reminders, the same encouragement, the same lessons over and over again, do not ignore them. Allah is speaking to your soul, reinforcing your faith, and letting you know that your waiting period is almost over. Pay attention to these spiritual signals. They are guiding you to your breakthrough. Sign number 7. You feel a strong urge to prepare for change. Sometimes, before Allah grants you what you have been praying for, He places a strong feeling in your heart, a push to prepare. Suddenly, you feel the need to get organized, improve yourself, or make space in your life for something greater. This is not random. It is a divine signal that your breakthrough is near. Before Allah delivers His blessings, He inspires action. If you feel the urge to prepare, even when you don't see results yet, know that Allah is already working behind the scenes. Think of it as a test. Are you ready to receive what you asked for? A powerful example of this is seen in the Battle of Badr. The Muslims were vastly outnumbered, facing an enemy 3 times their size. But before the battle even began, they prepared with complete faith, even though they did not yet know how victory would come. They sharpened their swords, strategized, and made Duah. And then, when the time was right, Allah sent His help in a way no one expected. Angels descended to fight alongside them, securing a miraculous victory. The Quran reminds us, "And prepare against them whatever you are able of power and steeds of war." Quran 8:60. This verse teaches us that preparation is a key part of faith. If you are feeling an unexplainable urge to develop new skills, fix your habits, strengthen your iman, or take steps toward your goal, know that Allah is guiding you toward your answered dua. So do not wait until the blessing arrives to start preparing. Start now. Your waiting period is almost over, and Allah wants you to be ready for what He has planned for you. Sign number 8. The people around you start changing. As you move closer to receiving the blessings Allah has promised, one of the most profound signs you may experience is a shift in the people around you. Certain relationships may begin to fade, and new, more supportive ones may emerge. While these changes can feel unsettling, they are often divine signals that Allah is preparing you for something greater. When Allah elevates a person, He sometimes removes negative influences from their life to protect them and prepare them for what is to come. The removal of toxic relationships, or the distancing from people who hinder your spiritual growth, is often part of His divine plan. This allows you to step into a phase of personal development and clarity, free from distractions. A powerful example of this can be seen in the life of Prophet Ibrahim, a.s. He had to part ways with his people, who rejected Allah and mocked His faith, before receiving the great blessings Allah had in store for him. He left his family, his land, and everything familiar, trusting that Allah had a greater plan. His willingness to let go of harmful influences made room for Allah to elevate him to a position of greatness, where he would become the father of the monotheistic faiths and an example for all believers. Allah's guidance in this regard is clear in the Quran. "And we gave him good news of a learned boy, and we made him an imam for the people." Quran 37:100-101. This verse highlights how Prophet Ibrahim, as, had to experience separation from those who did not share his faith before Allah's blessings could manifest fully. If you notice that certain relationships are shifting in your life, whether through distance, conflict, or simply a natural change, understand that this could be a divine preparation for your upcoming blessings. Recognize when Allah is guiding you away from people who are holding you back, and trust that His plan for you is always for your ultimate good. As you move closer to your breakthrough, Allah is clearing the path for your elevation. Sign number 9. You feel a stronger connection to Allah than ever before. Before a breakthrough, one of the most profound signs that your waiting period is almost over is a deepening of your connection to Allah. You begin to feel a sense of closeness that you may not have felt before. Your iman, faith, increases, your prayers become more sincere, and you start to experience a tranquility that comes from truly relying on Allah. This stronger connection to your Creator is a sign that your heart is being prepared for the blessings that are about to come. One of the most powerful examples of this is the story of Prophet Yunus, as. When he was swallowed by the whale, he was in the depths of despair and isolation. At that moment, he turned completely to Allah, calling upon him with a sincerity and faith that he had never experienced before. He did not rely on his own strength, nor on his circumstances. He recognized that only Allah could save him. His faith in Allah's mercy and power was his salvation. The Quran recounts the moment when Prophet Yunus called upon Allah, and the man in the fish when he called out to Allah while in darkness, saying, "There is no deity except you. Exalted are you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoers." Quran 21:87. In this moment, Prophet Yunus exemplified absolute trust in Allah, even in his darkest hour. His turning to Allah with complete sincerity and faith was the key to his rescue. This deep connection and complete trust in Allah was the precursor to his breakthrough, as Allah responded with mercy and delivered him from his trials. Similarly, when you feel your faith growing stronger during your waiting period, when you find yourself praying more earnestly, turning to Allah in times of difficulty, and feeling more at peace in His presence, this is a sign that Allah is preparing your heart for something bigger. Your spiritual growth during this time is part of His divine plan to elevate you and prepare you for the blessings He has in store for you. Trust in this connection, for it is leading you to your breakthrough. Sign number 10. You start feeling that your patience has been rewarded. One of the most reassuring signs that your waiting period is coming to an end is the feeling that your patience has already been rewarded. This sense of fulfillment and peace is a divine gift from Allah, confirming that He has acknowledged your perseverance. Although the material blessings you have prayed for may not have yet arrived, Allah grants you a sense of contentment and joy that surpasses all worldly desires. This feeling is a precursor to the ultimate blessings that are about to manifest in your life. Allah promises in the Quran, "Indeed, Allah is with those who are patient." Quran 2:153. This verse reassures us that when we practice patience and trust in Allah's timing, He is always with us, supporting and guiding us. The reward for patience is not only in the form of material blessings, but also in the inner peace and strength Allah provides while we endure hardship. One powerful example of this is the story of Prophet Ayub, a.s. His entire life was a test of patience, as he endured severe illness, the loss of his wealth, his children, and his health. For years he remained patient, never losing his faith in Allah's mercy. At the peak of his suffering, he cried out to Allah in sincerity, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." Quran 21:83. Despite all the trials, Prophet Ayub, a.s., remained steadfast in his trust in Allah's plan. His patience led to ultimate relief, and Allah granted him not only his health and wealth back, but also greater blessings than before. His patience was rewarded both in this life, dunya, and in the hereafter, akhirah, where he holds a high station as an example of endurance and faith. When you start to feel that your patience has already been rewarded, this is a clear sign that Allah is preparing you for the final stage of your breakthrough. The peace, contentment, and fulfillment you feel are divine gifts that reassure you that Allah is with you, and that your prayers and efforts will soon come to fruition. Stay patient, for your reward is on its way, and it will be far greater than you could ever imagine. As we reflect on the 10 signs that Allah is preparing you for your breakthrough, it becomes clear that His plan is always perfect. Every sign, every moment of waiting, every test you face is part of a larger design that is beyond our understanding. Allah's timing is flawless, and He knows exactly when to bring relief, blessings, and success into your life. Let's recap the signs that show Allah's hand is at work, preparing you for something greater. A deep sense of inner peace begins to settle in your heart. Doors that were once closed start opening, revealing new opportunities. Your supplications feel more intense and sincere as you approach your breakthrough. Life may get harder before the relief comes, but this hardship is a purification process. Your heart fills with gratitude, signaling you're ready to receive more. You notice repeated affirmations in your life, guiding you toward your goal. You feel a strong urge to prepare for change, even if you don't yet know what's coming. The people around you begin to change. As Allah removes negative influences, your connection to Allah grows stronger, and your faith deepens. You start feeling that your patience has been rewarded, even before the material blessings arrive. Each of these signs is a powerful reminder that Allah's plan for you is unfolding exactly as it should. If you have been waiting, know this: Allah has already written your moment of relief. It is on its way, and you are being prepared for it right now. Trust Him, trust the process, and trust that what He has planned for you is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. I invite you to comment below if you have noticed any of these signs in your life. Share your experiences, and let's support each other in this journey of faith. Finally, let us conclude with a heartfelt dua. O Allah, grant us patience in our waiting, strengthen our faith in your perfect timing, and fulfill our righteous prayers. Guide us through our trials and bless us with your mercy and relief. Ameen. May Allah continue to bless you with peace, guidance, and the fulfillment of all that is good.